This stadium, this festival of the Himalayas, offering a real hope of a bright new future. That man there, Anil Shah, said to me at the toss HD just before we went on air, this is one of the few things that gives people hope and joy and happiness now in this country. That's how much cricket means to Nepal.
What is the how many people can we get in here?
So my official count, I didn't go around every single seat last night, HD. You know I was here till late. As this is swept around the corner. In terms of bucket seats, we've got just over 10,000. But then we also have VIP sections, and then we've got the special sponsored zones, the NCL fan zone, the Red Bull fan zone. I can promise you there is barely a seat to be spied here. So I think total, you know I'm prone to a bit of exaggeration. Goes downtown. That's going to soar into the night sky. A beautiful sight. Right up and over the sight screen. He's dealing in maximums now, is Charlesworth.
He's a big tall man, Ben Charlesworth, so your length has got to be dragged back a little bit more than that, because he's got a big front foot step and swing and away it goes. He's a clean striker. He's a very clean striker of the ball.
The depth of white ball talent in England is, well, it's a bit scary, to be honest. You think of someone like him, a former England under-19, a good tournament here could catapult him onto bigger stages still. But yeah, my estimation, I'm going to say about 15,000 people in the ground. But we also saw the announcement last evening that there's going to be further developments to come. This isn't the end for this ground, it's going to get better and better. This one's cut away, cut powerfully, and beats the dive. Lofty Eaton can't cut that off, and it's all going the Gurkhas' way. 68 for none. There's the fixtures for the Gurkhas. Remember, 3 warm-up games, HD Ackerman. They won all 3 of them. And there is a certain factor. He's got the Midas touch, that Monty Desai, doesn't he? Much loved here in Nepal for obvious reasons. His tenure as the head coach of the national team. Or the hometown side, maybe one of the early favourites for this title this year.
Board.
So just going back to the ground, and I know, look, it's beautiful, the work that they've done, and it's going to be an amazing facility down the line. And it is the future of Nepal cricket, but there's going to be many persons sitting here today who is going to have to pass down from generation to generation the memories that were created when this wasn't done.
Yeah, there was a beautiful quaintness to it, wasn't there? The innocence, really, of those grass banks. I think at times definitely exceeded any actual, desired or designed capacities. But the pride that this nation feels in having a home that is fitting for the future of this country, you can just see it in the face and in the voice of every person. And particularly for me, HD, the young people, see the role that they have to play in helping to sculpt the future of this country. Everything that happened back in September. Honoured to have the Prime Minister here, Mrs. Sushila Karki, who's overseeing that transition and talk his elections next year. So I think there is a lot of hope, and cricket is a big driver of hope. You may say, well, it's only a sport, but here it is much more than just a sport. Nicely bowled, somehow just misses the off stump.
Yeah, took quite a bit of pace off this.
Just the 2 singles from the over. Anil Shah usually has the gloves, but he's having a bowl this evening. He's got none for 17. It's 70 for none.
हेलो साथीहरु, तपाईहरु चाहिँ अन्य वेबसाइट वा यसबाट लाइभ हेर्नुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइट योनो टिभी हो है। त्यसैले गुगलमा गएर योनो टिभी सर्च गरेर हाम्रो अफिसियल मुख्य वेबसाइटबाट लाइभ हेर्दिनुस् है।
Involved, they did a lovely thing last night, HD. Every single person, whether they were engineers or architects or builders or designers or developers, they all got a token of appreciation, all brought up as Lofty Eaton comes into the attack. Smash back at him, and he thinks he's held on. He says that's out. So too now does the umpire. Not the greatest delivery, but leg spinners have a habit of weaving some magic.
He's just a naturally gifted cricketer, is Lofty Eaton, because this is some catch. A wry smile on the face of Ben Charlesworth, because he clatters this back, and Lofty Eaton says, "I'll have that." Pretty nonchalant for a tough chance. They needed that breakthrough, did the current champions, but a very fine innings comes to an end. Welcome to Nepal, Ben Charlesworth. It's 70 for 1.
Well, just what the Bolts needed. They are still miles behind this game. But in cricket in Nepal, as you rightly said, HD, you can never rule anyone out. Bim Sharkey to the crease. And wickets just have a funny habit of changing things. It wasn't really a very good delivery, was it? But an excellent catch. Googly this time, but picked by Sharkey. Fielding off your own bowling, even as a spinner, very difficult art.
Well, difficult for me to say because I couldn't even spin a top. But that is a very good catch.
You can see just how much Lofty Eaton has worked on his fitness. It looks almost to me unrecognisable to what he was a year ago. Talented cricketer, has that incredible record here at this ground, that famous century for Namibia. But it's his all-round skills. He's very good in the field, handy leg breaks, little unorthodox. And a little bit of turn on offer there too. Now we're going to have this every game. We had it last year. It's the happy dent, sparkling smile, fan of the match. Congratulations to you, madam. The hamper's already in her hands, HD. Great to see. 9 have been bowled. It's 73 for 1. Standing out like a beacon here in the Himalayan Valley. We're in Kirtipur, about 10 minutes away from the beautiful twin cities that make up the capital city here. Not just Kathmandu, of course, but wonderful Lalitpur, probably my favourite part of the city over there. And of course up to the history and the heritage of Bhaktapur, the three cities that really make up this valley, where the vast majority of the population come up to, whether it's for work or for studies. As Lalit Rajbanshi will bowl his third over, and the slip comes into place. They need wickets. Rajbanshi just struggled a little bit, HD, over the last 6 or 8 weeks for wickets. He's actually bowled very nicely in the ODIs. I thought that spell at the ICC Academy ground, where he was so economical against the United Arab Emirates, was really impressive, but he just found himself out of the wickets. And he is a key man for the Bolts. Can't field well enough to create a chance. He was in the wickets last year too.
But I think that that's something that can happen to you when teams identify you as a threat. Think of the great Rashid Khan for Afghanistan, how teams start to say, you know what, let's just score 4, 5 and over off him and we'll do the damage against the rest. He was the joint highest wicket taker with 17 wickets last year. Scott Kugelheim was the other man. Now he's the big quick. He'll be here again this year.
It tends to be how it works. You have a good season as an overseas player, back you come. Lofty Eaton didn't get much opportunity last year for the Chitwan Rhinos, but as they let him go, in stepped the Bolts, and they said, yeah, we'll have a bit of him, his all-round skills. Got him! And he's back in the wickets. The premier left arm spinner in the country. You can keep him out of the game for a little bit of time. You won't keep him out of the game for long. That's a big, big breakthrough.
Well, there was a lovely bit of dialogue between the keeper and bowler before the over got underway. And what he was saying, what Malanta said to Rajbanshi is, you need to get it up and you need to get it down and you need to spin it hard. And that's what he did. And he's got a Bim Jonty Shark. He's got rid of him. It's 75 for 2. And we are going to have a little drinks break.
Well, Jeet the Snow Leopard is back. Not just one, but I've seen 4 of them already. And they're getting this capacity crowd pumped up. Loving every set. Uh-oh, the dance moves are out early. It's only day 1, HD.
And they won't stop. Doesn't even matter which team is on top or if you support the team that are about to lose. Gee, they love it.
And I tell you what else is back, your favourite tune. It's time for Mata Dale 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 Mata Dale 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 Dale. It's a real tune, this one. You loved it last year.
I don't know if this was the one. There was so much good music that was played. I've even got one on my playlist.
I've actually got about a dozen now into my Spotify across the last while. That's it, G. Get them going. It's party time here in Kathmandu. This is the one for me, mate. Belting tune. Mata Dale Dale. It means I keep falling in love with you. Just been told it does mean that. Good news.
Not on air, Andrew, please.
Some of the moves, you cannot help but be inspired by the joy. Yeah, Shantarani Pariyar with that blockbuster hit. It was the hit of last season and it's been rolled out again this year. The Bolts fans are here, always decked out in pink, but they have a lot of work to do. It's a packed house, sold to the rafters. And if you want to come and get involved, you're going to need to get your tickets. Get that Calty app, get it downloaded. I reckon there's at least 15,000 in and around here right now, HD. Milan Kumar, he has been the nemesis of so many associate sides this year. He is in red hot form, one of the fastest ever to 1,000 ODI runs. And what more, HD, he is an unbelievable player of spin, which will be very much to the fore here.
Well, he's going to have to be, because this is a serious delivery. Lovely little bit of drift in and then the turn to find the outside edge. It's all right, it's okay, you're still on top.
Living and breathing every moment. We saw it last year as well, didn't we? It became the place to be seen. Actors and singers and stars everywhere. And the reigning champions fighting back thanks to Rajbanshi. 2 good overs there, 10 have been bowled. 76 for 2.
हेलो साथीहरु, तपाईहरु चाहिँ अन्य वेबसाइट वा यसबाट लाइभ हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइट योनो टिभी हो है। त्यसैले गुगलमा गएर योनो टिभी सर्च गरेर हाम्रो अफिसियल मुख्य वेबसाइटबाट लाइभ हेर्दिनुस् है।
From their feet, the Kathmandu Gurkhas are running away with this game, and it's a full house. Oh boy, what a vibe, what a feeling. All of this underlies the very first occasion in the history of Nepal cricket. Everything to love about Nepal cricket and embrace as well. You're liking every bit of it. We saw it last year and this year as well. On day one, the hype and the buzz prevails. Fazal Khalil alongside me, and he's enjoying the tunes as well, shaking his leg in the dance. Come box.
Absolutely, I mean, really good tunes belted out by the DJ is doing a really good job spurring the crowd on. It's a very historic evening here in Nepal, with the first time ever that cricket is played under lights. Beautiful settings here. And just take a look at the crowd, Mikhal. They've come in real large numbers. I've been told 10,000 odd people around the grounds and in the stands as well. They were enjoying every little bit of cricket. Like you did mention very correctly, the Kathmandu Gurkhas have this in the bag at the moment. They have the defending champions on the mat. Really, Ben, what an innings he played. Ben Charlesworth really made full use of those first 6 overs. And now you see, slowly but surely, the mistakes creeping in to the fielding of the defending champions.
Yeah, and we talk about Ben Charlesworth's innings, but Akash Tripathi's 24 in 29 has been a very calculated innings, keeping in mind that Charlesworth was going from the other end. We'll take a look at that overthrow once again. Just a bit shoddy in the field. Your Janakpur bowls. Oh, Milanta could have done better, especially after that catch in the last over. He's not happy. Nicely played. They'll go for the second. They'll push for the second. Sent back. And Fazal, Akash Tripathi was with the Janakpur bowls last season, by the way. So he'll be very happy, just proving a point to his former side this evening with the bat.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. That's the reason why he's being a little careful, cautious. Another look at this magnificent facility. I was told that this wasn't there 12 months ago. They put all this together, and really kudos to the Nepal Cricket Association and their platform that they've given these youngsters to come out there and express themselves. Couldn't have asked for anything better, the cricketers of Nepal and those involved in this league. 52 now from 56. And that really the reason being the innings of Ben Charlesford really stepped on the gas when it mattered in those first 6 overs. Just 5.57 runs to the over is what they require.
Almost dragged that on. Bikash Aguri is bowling well. Yeah, you spoke about Ben Charlesworth. I'm sure, Fazal, you'd like to illustrate what you'll be seeing now.
Well, the confidence, the class, the composure, and he was really sure of where he's going to hit the ball. There it is. It was a full toss, but he still needed to put away. That was probably one of the best shots that we've seen all evening, and that perhaps is the best shot played by him. What an innings. Really probably putting them completely out of this game at the moment. The defending champions are on the verge of their first defeat in their very first game in season 2. End of the over, 11 done, 81 for 2.
It's a one-way contest at the moment. It's the Kathmandu Gurkhas, and look at that worm. Despite those couple of blips in the middle overs, that worm is not dropping steeply. It's just a marginal dip, and they're well and truly on top of this chase as well. Be it that asking rate, be it the wickets in hand. They have a set batter in the middle in Tripathi. Charlesworth played a blinder of an innings. At this stage, the Janakpur bowls were 62. That's been the differentiator. This man's having a lovely evening and a lovely start to his NPL campaign. A sensible cricket here, just using the pace of the ball, steers it down to third.
Well, the dugout will be really happy, the Kathmandu Gurkhas. They had a very average season in the first season of this Nepal Premier League, but when you see the runs to get and you have more balls to get them in, you really feel good. There he is, Tripathi, 26 of 32. He must be very relaxed in the dugout. There they are. It is really chilly out there, so they are warmed up, but they'll be really happy. 82 for 2.
He's miscued this one, but that'll land safe. Sometimes as a batter you need that slice of luck. Yes and no, shy the stumps at the keeper's end. And Tripathi will get back. He's living dangerously, but the rub of the green going his way.
Well, yes, they are the team in green and the rub of the green going their way. Certainly enjoying the atmosphere out here. Just a little high on the bat, got a little big on him. But the running was so good. A little bit of if yes and a no, but all's well that ends well.
Yeah, you can fairly understand the confusion and the mix-ups and the misunderstandings as well, because they've not batted or played too much. They've all just flown in. And they've just come together before the start of NPL Season 2. So you can fairly understand why the yes and no's are not very clear at the moment. And they'll only get better as this tournament progresses.
Well, yes. But they've played so much of cricket per se that it won't take too long to get used to each other. I'm sure they've had a few practice sessions as well. The coach would have spoken to them. And they're all professionals out here. So each one is expected to come in with a role and fulfill those roles.
Yeah, but you got to really give it to the Kathmandu Gurkhas as well. The spinners set it up for them. And in the chase, they've not tried to be very adventurous or very careless in their shot making. They're happy turning the strike around. They got that one good blitzkrieg kind of a start from Charlesworth, and they're capitalizing on it at the moment.
Well, he's really set the stage for them. To be able to take those singles even as late as the 12th over. They're still doing it in singles. Need 45 runs from 49 deliveries. So it's pretty much in the bag for Kathmandu. Now it's for Kathmandu to lose this game rather than the defending champions, the Janakpur Bolts, winning it. 29 balls since the last boundary. They have supporters there in full strength, exercising their vocal cords to the maximum, Mikhail.
Yeah, it's a long tournament. You've got to keep your vocals intact. Nicely whipped away, this protection in the deep. Yeah, this partnership is slowly but surely building as well. 87 for 2. Nepal is bringing out the moves at the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. And it's truly a festival of the Himalayas. And look at the man in the Dhaka topi and the shades on. Anybody can beat him tonight with the steps? I don't think so. He's right on top of his game. What a lovely evening this is turning out to be. Janakpur Bowls will certainly have to find ways now to make inroads into this batting lineup. Yeah, that kind of a chase where you don't have to do anything silly, Fazal.
Well, yes, absolutely. At this stage, the Janakpur Bolts, the defending champions, were 70 for 4. And the Gurkhas are 88 for 2. So they are way ahead in terms of runs and wickets in hand. And still get the single. Need 43 more, or 42 now, or 46.
Sometimes when you're defending something as low as 130, there, oh my God, he just made life very difficult for himself there, Akash Tripathi. Tossed up, almost pinned the empire on the way as well, thanks to the stumps that came in the middle.
Nice to see the leg spinner in action, especially with the dew on the ground. We saw during the drinks that there was that rope out there clearing the dew. So a hefty ask this for the leg spinner. There he is, trying to get the ball as dry as possible, tossing that one up on the bounce to the fielder at long on, Asif Sheikh. You can see the ball not being able to be gripped by the bowler. There it is, vigorously rubbing the ball with that towel, trying to dry the seam especially.
And this will pretty much set the template for the night games as well. So you know the order of play for the captains at the toss when they win the toss. It's as simple as that. Field first is the call.
Absolutely, winning the toss will be very premium now, especially in the evening game as we see the dew. And as we get into the winter, Mikhail, there'll be a lot more dew coming in and a lot earlier. Interesting times, 13 done, 91 for 2. Welcome back to the TU International Cricket Stadium here in Kathmandu. It's season 2 of the Siddhartha Bank NPL. The chill is setting in. The hoodies are out, the beanies are out. But the cricket is really hot.
Yeah, talk about the chill, the cold, the nip in the air. You come from Bangalore. It's pretty chilly out there as well, Fazal.
Well, absolutely, it is. This time of the year is more or less like how it is here, but it's just that chill factor comes from the wind. Really, we don't have so much of wind in Bangalore, but it's the weather. I'm surprised that it's more or less like this. When I left yesterday, it was pretty nippy as well, but it's nice to see that I've come to a place where it's more or less like home to me.
Yeah, let's put it this way, Fazal. Home away from home for Fazal Khalil.
Well, absolutely, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. The crowd, the hospitality has been good. The Cricket Association of Nepal has been really hospitable towards us. Andrew Leonard in the house. How good is that? And Mikhail Vaswani.
And you
for
got a Dhaka
company.
topi as well.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that scarf. An appeal there. Very, very belated appeal from the bowler. I'm very impressed with Raj Bansi. He's really done well in the limited opportunity that he's got here. He's in his last over. Let's take a look at that one again. It was short, but he was looking to come out. If he had waited on that back foot, perhaps he would have made a better contact with it. 40 of 38.
Catch it! Leading edge is asking some questions, a probing over here by Raj Bansi. He's a class act with the ball.
Just a hint of turn. That's because he's wearing his pace so well, and that protruding seam of that ball is really helping the cause. Just a single of the over. 14 done, 92 for 2.
हेलो साथीहरु, अन्य वेबसाइटबाट हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइट योनो टिभी हो है। सबैजनाले योनो टिभी सर्च गर्नुहोस् अनि आउनुहोस् है। योनो टिभी सर्च गर्नुहोस् है सबैजनालाई। यो बन्द गर्दैछ है लाइभ, त्यसैले सबैजनाले योनो टिभी सर्च गर्नु र हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइटबाट लाइभ हेर्दिनुस् है। योनो टिभीमा आउनुहोस् है साथीहरु, योनो टिभी। ल सबैजनाले योनो टिभी सर्च गर्नुहोस्।
131 is what they needed. 92 for 2 is what they are. 2 wickets down. Ben Charlesford. What an innings by Charlesworth. Really setting this game up. And then another full toss by the leg spinner. Certainly there's a substantial amount of dew on the ground, Mikhail. Just take a look at the way every delivery he's using that towel. So it's going to be that pattern from here on as we get into the tournament, that the skipper winning the toss will straight away, there it is, just take a look at the dew there, and it's only going to increase. So the team that wins the toss will straight away want to field first.
Nicely struck down the ground towards long off, firmly hit. A bit of a misfield, and they'll come back for the second. Oh, he's struggling. Had the throw been a lot more straighter, maybe over the stumps, but that'll be referred upstairs. Are we seeing a twist in the tail over here? Milind was struggling to get back, was a little slow, but I reckon he may have just made it. Even as that is referred upstairs, I just wonder if that throw had been maybe a bit more straight and a bit more flatter.
Well, from this angle looks pretty safe, but it's from the other angle that will be, which will tell the entire. Oh geez, take a look at that. The umpire is right in the way, so the third umpire will have no option but to really say not out there. Rambukwela, the TV umpire, you need to have conclusive evidence to, and I don't think he has that. Doesn't have a real clear view. Perhaps this is the best angle that he's going to get, and from here he's well and truly home. Really easy decision for the third umpire.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. The not out should be out very soon there on the big screen, much to the delight of the Kathmandu Gurkha fans as well. This partnership was 18 and 27. It's taken its time, but they can take the time. That's because they're chasing a very modest total in game number 1. Cricketing spectacle unfolding here. A historic evening. Talk about the significant day to begin with, and it's ending up as a magnificent night as well. Nicely hit. That's in the gap, and that's going to be 4. Just how beautifully he leant into this one, Akash Tripathi. After 44 deliveries, a boundary.
Well, perhaps one of the toughest shots in the cricketing manual. Just take a look at that. Giving himself room, down on one knee, gets the elevation over extra cover, and gets 4 very handsome runs. The other thing here, you can play a shot like this through the line of the ball only if it's a really good pitch, Mikhail, and this is really proving to be a real fine cricket wicket. The 100 for Kathmandu Gurkhas coming up in the 15th over. Just the 2 wickets down, and how good an innings is this? The value of the innings from Ben Charlesworth.
And the way Tripathi has dropped anchor and held one end, 39 and 43. It's been a laboured innings. Yeah, the second 50 taking time, but they've been in no hurry whatsoever. They need a run a ball 31 from here. Kathmandu Gurkhas missed out on the playoff berth last season, but certainly today they've come out with great intent. Milind will keep strike. A single off the final delivery of the 15th over, and this means now it's a run a ball 30 in the final 5, and the Gurkhas are looking good. 101 for 2.
Well, 5 overs left. They are getting there, but not quite over the line yet. Will we have a late twist and turn? It's a run a ball, 8 wickets in hand. You would think it should be a simple task, but he's really wheeling through his bowling options. Here comes Sanjay Krishnamurthy, the American, who bowls good left arm spin. A lovely little bit of byplay because it's USA v USA out there, 2 national teammates. Are we going all the way to the final over, HD?
They don't want to. The Gurkhas, you want to try and win this with an over to spare.
Not quite going to carry. Well, we saw the announcement, didn't we, of Bajaj Pulsar coming on board. And it's time to meet that next gen Pulsar power. Well, it's explosive fast. I think it's unstoppable.
It's faster than the bloke sitting next to them, that's for sure.
I reckon he's probably one of the workers who hasn't slept in not just days, HD, weeks. It was a real Trojan team effort. Everyone doing their part to get this ground ready for the big opening night. It would be so fitting if we did have a grand climax in that final over. Got him all straight through. This game, it's twisting. I think it's starting to hang on a knife edge. The reigning champions are that for a reason. And the Bolts strike back, the 8th bowler to be used.
Again, it's the pace. The first delivery was flat and quick. This one, pace off the ball. Through the stroke, loses his leg stump. They're giving themselves a chance, but that's all it is. It's just a chance. Tripathi goes, played nicely for his 39. The Gurkhas are 102 for 3. . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3
Second time into Nepal for this man, John Simpson, former England international, very talented cricketer. Had an exceptional season for Sussex, was one of the leading run scorers in the county championship, having moved across from Middlesex a few seasons back. He kept wickets very well in the first innings, but he's got a job to do. He's here because of this.
No real turn, just went onto the arm, but it was the variation of pace. Well, they're a little worried.
Gets it out of the screws, out the ground, that'll do. One American strikes over the other. Big hit that twists the game again. Chase looking good now, 109 for 3.
हेलो साथीहरु, तपाईहरु चाहिँ अन्य वेबसाइट वा यसबाट लाइभ हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइट योनो टिभी हो है। त्यसैले गुगलमा गएर योनो टिभी सर्च गरेर हाम्रो अफिसियल मुख्य वेबसाइटबाट लाइभ हेर्दिनुस् है।
Every Nepal fan across this nation was cursing him throughout that recent ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2 series, where Nepal could not pick up a single win in the ODI format, having had such a good 6 weeks in the T20Is. That 2-1 Unity Cup win over the West Indies and remaining unbeaten in the T20 World Cup qualifier for the Asia EAP region. Going to be Kishore Mahato. He'll be looking to force his way onto the plane for that World Cup next year to John Simpson. Pulled and pulled all the way. It's a favoured stroke of Simpson's. Most keepers are good on the short ball. Simpson into his work immediately.
Yeah, not just the short ball, square of the wicket strokes. You'll often see them get on bended knee and sweep and reverse sweep, the spinners. But against the quicks, they like to cut and pull.
Changes the pace, goes to the off cutter. Just those back-to-back maximums across the 2 overs. Well, it's taken the wind out of the sails of the Bolts, who, credit to them, had been fighting back well.
I think the wickets in hand that the Gurkhas had, I think that would have been the message from Monty Desai is, look, the last thing we want is to go into the last over here, even if it means we need one off the last over. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see it. So if we've got to take a risk or two now, we can.
I promise you we will see it throughout the season, though. Maybe not tonight, but on evenings to come. It's what the DNA of cricket in Nepal is: excitement, passion and drama. And it's not just here in Nepal. Listen to this message I've just got. Lenny, the MPL excitement couldn't let me sleep. I've woken up at 3 a.m. and watched every ball from Columbus, Ohio in the United States of America. And that diaspora we saw during the T20 World Cup last year as they packed into the Grand Prairie Stadium in Texas for that Netherlands game. There's Nepalese people all over the world. Just a punch down the ground. 1 bounce, 4 more. Nice little cameo this from John Simpson.
I love this stroke, I really do. Often people don't like to go straight down the ground because it's the most cluttered area. There's an umpire, there's a non-striker, there's a bowler, there's a long on and long off. But the gap between long on and long off is vast, and Simpson finds it.
Those county championship numbers this year for John Simpson, he says himself he's in the form of his life. Captain Sussex, had the gloves, and across the 14 games made over 1,000 runs at an average in excess of 60 with 400s. No surprise, I think he is a very shrewd signing by Monty Desai.
He's closing in on his 40th year, isn't he? 36, 37. He would have thought he was arriving here as the oldest player 37 years of age. He would have got off the aeroplane and thought, you know what, I'm going to be the oldest player here. But he's giving Imran Tahir 10 years.
And of course, Sohail Tanvir's right up there too. Yeah, we got a few real veterans. You don't think of Faf du Plessis as old either, do you? But he's 40 years young. I think he turned 41 actually during that great Major League Cricket run they had during the summer over in the United States. He's in the shape of his life though still, Faf du Plessis. Can't wait to see him here. Good sharp bouncer. And Milan Kumar is going to say, I'll walk off. There is just a feather of a contact. It is maybe the one weakness that Milan Kumar has, but it's probably come as too little too late. But a good moment for the young quick with that extra yard of pace.
What a cracking delivery this is. There's bounce, there's pace, and just a feather of a glove. That's what we like to see. We like to see that. Yes, the umpire raised the finger, but Milan Kumar was already on his way. 19 of 22 deliveries. It's 1-2-2 for 4.
Gerard Erasmus to the crease, the captain of Namibia, who starred in that historic, unforgettable victory for Namibia over South Africa. Your alma mater, HD. Just thought I'd remind you about that one. Big appeal and given. It's 2-2. It's cricket in Nepal. There's always a twist and turn. Anil Shah back into the attack, and somehow the bolts are still in this.
Some were questioning, why is Anil Shah bowling? Well, he's answering them in emphatic fashion. That, I'm afraid, is clattering into leg stump. That is gone. He's bowled well here as Anil Shah, 1 for 17 in his 3 overs. But that's a very fine innings, just 6 balls, but 13 has gone a long way to getting his side over the line. 122 for 5.
Mohamed Adil Alam, every single one of the 8 franchises put in for this man in the mini auction. No surprise about that. Of course, for much publicised reasons, was away from the game for the best part of 3 years and then came back in the most remarkable of styles, taking 4 wickets against the West Indies. Wasn't used with the ball today, but is going to be needed to get the Gurkhas over the line with the bat.
Well, I hope he's got his athletic spikes on, because Erasmus will run hard. It's one thing that the Namibian captain does do well. He runs exceptionally well between the wickets.
Probably could have batted really anywhere in this middle order, couldn't he, from 3 down to 6. But he's being used down here. The ball definitely just skidding on a touch under the floodlights. I don't think Anil Shah will thank his fielder for that throw. Haven't seen him bowl much, to be honest, HD. I usually see him with the gloves on, but he's been effective tonight.
Better than that. Economy of under 6. A wicket. reading the conditions. I thought teams would give consideration to actually bowling first, because forget about it, that's out the ground. They won away now. That's an almighty hit.
Well, Adil Alam's trademark stroke is the helicopter shot. Not quite the full helicopter we saw blessing this ground and covering it in flowers to mark the opening night, but the mini helicopter comes out from Mohamed Adil Alam. This is why he was so in demand. Just one turn of the chopper's blades and it flies 75 metres into the deep. And the reigning champions are going to be going down to defeat. As Adil Alam, the man in demand, he hits the winning runs. It will just be the single to get them over the line. And the crowd very much favouring the Janakpur Bolts. They've been becalmed, silenced somewhat, as it will be the Gurkhas that will get their campaign underway with a win. A little bit of an anticlimactic finish out there because the players aren't quite sure, but they've done it in real.
हेलो अन्य वेबसाइटमा हेर्ने साथीहरू प्लिज भोलिदेखि हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइट युनो टिभीमा आउनु होला है। आफ्नो मोबाइल भएको गुगल क्रोममा गएर युनो टिभी सर्च गर्नु होला अनि हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइटबाट हेर्दिनु होला है त। ल है साथीहरू, अन्य वेबसाइट वा एप्समा हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो मुख्य वेबसाइट युनो टिभी हो, युनो टिभीमा आउनुहोस् है भोलिदेखि। ल ल धन्यवाद छ है साथीहरू सबै चाहिँ। ल
Batting first because I thought maybe the ball would nip around at night, but they read the conditions better than I did because there was dew and the ball just came on beautifully. But the damage was certainly done with ball in hand. The spinners bowled incredibly well, got the ball to hold and turn, and the run chase, well, it was clinical.
That's the perfect adjective, clinical, and that's exactly what you'd expect from a Monty Desai coached side. I think we might be looking at the tournament's favourites here. I know it's a big statement, I know they didn't even get to the playoffs last